Hi, it's Speculous here. And are you finding yourself kind of feeling like you got a lot of pent up energy that you just don't know what to do with? I'm asking just because we are having the phone is ringing off the wall here right now with people that are looking to take riding lessons. And, we've got the usual amount of people that are parents that are asking for their children's sake, but we got an unusually high level of interest in adults right now that are wanting to ride. And I keep thinking, keep hearing about the great reset that everybody's talking about, and you wonder, is that what we're experiencing? You hear that people are starting to reassess their lives a little bit, and they're deciding to try something that they've always wanted to try, which I think is great. Um, at any rate, unfortunately, we can't do anything about it right now per se because we're in lockdown. But one of the things I was talking to this woman about today, that the woman that called today, was that in a lot of ways, you can distill riding down into sort of three essential elements. You have to train the horse, you have to train the rider, and then we have to work on that kind of breaking down the communication barriers that sometimes exist between humans and horses, right? Naturally exist that way. And those are kind of the three elements that if you distill it all down, it kind of comes down to those three things. And as I was explaining to this lady on the phone today, the one element, the one you can do without being on the horse at all, is breaking down those communication barriers. Because you can learn that in a different way. And I know that because we used to have, at my old location in Gormley, we used to do these sessions for beginner riders where they would come and they would learn to understand the horse first. And we found that to be hugely successful, especially for nervous people or people that were just a little bit not sure if this was for them. So it was a lot easier to commit to come and learn about horses, learn how their body language is, how they communicate, how we communicate with them. That was a lot easier to commit to than actually getting on a horse. And the best part was that once they learned that stuff, they found that horses were not as unpredictable as they'd been told, and that they were a lot braver about actually putting a foot in the stirrup and getting on. And I found it went a lot faster, a lot easier for them once they had those sort of essential understandings. And I think in a way that they had a greater connection with the horses too. They had a deeper bond because, you're not looking for how to get from A to B when you decide to ride a horse. You're looking for that connection. And it was just easier to find it once you understood the partner, right? And we used to have a great fun with that. And here's a little behind the scenes is that I'm being talked into doing that again here, except because we're not allowed to have anybody at the farm, we're going to try to do it online, I think. And I've been sort of avoiding trying to do anything like this because I kept saying I didn't have time to do it, but now with the COVID lockdown, I have time. And then I kept saying I didn't want to do it because we didn't have internet access out in the barn. And lo and behold, this week apparently we're getting internet access out in the barn, which is exciting on so many other levels. But that's pretty cool. So it looks like we just might give this a shot. You will be the first to know if we decide to do it. It could be fun. We'll let you know. Anyway, in the meantime, I would love to know, like, if you ever learned something really valuable just by learning about your partner without actually being on his back, but just by learning about him on the ground, learning how he thinks, how he sees the world, and how he tells you everything he's thinking. I would love to know that. I know I've had great experiences like that. Some of my big moments that have improved my riding over the years, oddly enough, would happen sometimes when I wasn't even on the horse. But when I came to have a deeper understanding of my partner in the sport, I think we're all looking for that, right? The only reason we ride is, I think, you get past the point where you want to make it to the Olympics and you're really just mostly looking to have that connection with these wonderful creatures. So let me know in the comments if you've ever had that experience where you found that connection without actually getting on their back. Anyway, we will talk to you next week. Have a wonderful week and remember to thank your horse. Talk to you soon.